Hey Gems, welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot. I'm doing your mid-month energy update for April. Stepping into your energy. I hope you guys had a great Easter. See what's going on with you guys. So, Four of Swords. Nap time. I love it, Gems. I love it. So really quick, these cards are definitely jumping out today. You guys got Venus in your sign. Oh man, the High Priestess popping out there. I love when that card comes out. So funny because, I mean, Four of Swords, the Hermit, and the High Priestess. Like, Zen conflict. What's going on? Let's clarify this Hermit here. Clarify the High Priestess for me, please. Priestess for me, please. Challenge card. Oh my. Okay, gems. So the Four of Swords is you. And I feel like you're in a state of knowing but not talking, you know? It's like I always call it my card of strategizing. Especially when it comes out next to the Hermit in reverse, because it's not like you're taking the time to meditate or yeah, it's not like you're taking the time to meditate or something. It's like holding back information, holding back speaking your truth in a way, and that's clarified by the Nine of Cups in reverse. So it's like you're hesitating to talk about what's not making you happy. Not wanting to look at what's not making you happy. The Hermit in reverse, clarified by the Star. Wanting recognition. You know, that star just wanting clarity and recognition in a situation. And the High Priestess clarified by the Lovers tells me that you know, the High Priestess can sometimes talk about things that, you know, secrets or the unknowing, but I typically see it as the knowing. And that's the energy you're in right now. I think you're well aware of a connection in your life. Now, if you're not with anybody, okay, let's go about it this way. If you're not in a relationship with anyone at this time, then I think you're doing a lot of work on yourself. And in that way, it's like starting to express yourself. It's finding a way to speak and express yourself, and that brings you healing. It brings healing to a situation or a connection. If you're not in a connection, if you're maybe not dating right now, maybe you're not dating because you don't see any prospects. Maybe you're not dating because you're stuck in isolation. Makes sense, right? You know, there's a lack of a social aspect there, but there's definitely a need to get out, you know, the Hermit card in reverse, and to meet people and to start new experiences. Wanting attention really is what I'm getting from that Hermit in reverse. If you're in a relationship, it's wanting to bring attention to the relationship. The High Priestess, it tells me, you know, that this connection can go farther, that it's deeper than it is. You know, there's like a knowing inside of you that this is special. Again, if you're alone, if you are, I hate to say that word, alone, that if you're not in a relationship or in a connection, then, you know, it's just kind of having the faith that it's coming and that you're working on yourself and you're healing yourself. You know, there's a need to get yourself healed. Because the Lovers is all about alignment. It's all about being in alignment with your masculine and your feminine side of yourself, the side of you that can give and the side of you that can receive. Now, if I want to get more in depth, you know, this could be a masculine energy that wants to acknowledge a feminine energy in their lives. But for some reason, there's conflict. There's conflict or battling of the egos, which is causing a delay in starting a new cycle. And the King of Swords in the challenge position with the 10 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, there's some kind of a mental conflict related to your ego that you're not willing to give up in order to start something new with this person. Or just dating in general. There's just something, there's a part of your ego that needs to be adjusted in order to make progress. I'm pulling so many more cards here. Let's see what's going on. Okay, I've got a King of Pentacles, Fool in reverse. Man, it's like the same messages for everybody. It's so funny. It's all coming out the same, honestly. We're all in the same deal, man. of Cups. You're afraid to get up in your emotions, or somebody's afraid to get up in their emotions with you. Some astrology cards. The King of Swords. You may be basing a lot of your decisions on logic right now. Oh my gosh, look at Leo. Card of Leo, I will. And the card of Libra, I balance. Okay, so this is all about the balancing of your ego, Gemini. Definitely. So let's talk about this. I just think there's conflict over what you want. I was just talking to a friend about this the other day, about, you know, I always tell that story about telling the universe that you wish you had a cake, and you walk in your kitchen and there's flour and sugar and all the ingredients you need to make a cake, and you're just still angry that there's no cake. And then my friend was telling me this story about, you know, a guy out drowning in the ocean, and a boat comes by and he says, oh no, I don't need you, God will save me. And then another boat comes by and tries to save him, and he's like, I don't need you, you know, God's gonna save me. And you know, he dies. And then he gets up there and God says, yeah, but I gave you everything. I gave you all the things you wanted, and you didn't ignore them. I mean, you ignored them. So, you know, the conflict might be in having to do the work. It might not look the way that you wanted it to. It may not be perfect at this time. But it will be. The conflict you're going through now is definitely going to teach you some lessons, okay? Really karmic lessons, and you're in a mode for that. You know, there's stuff that needs to come up in order to heal. I was just reminded in the Aries reading too that we have Mercury in Aries now, and it's conjoining with Chiron. This is all about conversations that lead to healing. It's all about bringing up those wounds and discussing them. You may be not wanting to do that because you want to avoid conflict with someone. But I think if you don't dig in there and get to the bottom of things, it is the ultimate fight. It's a fight. It's a struggle that gets you to the next level. Yeah, I just feel like there's like a need to like put it all on the table and just talk about it. Like, these are such beautiful cards. Like, you got this whole second row is like naked people. It's just a matter of, are you willing to be vulnerable? You know, Leo is a beautiful card. Leo's about knowing your heart. And Libra is about sharing with someone else. And the Grand Trine is the blessings card. So, you know, again, there's the idea of Dharma. Like, there needs to be some forgiveness. You know, and the universe is telling you, don't make harsh decisions right now. Don't cut people off. Allow there to be conflict. Don't be so afraid to fight with people. Don't be so afraid to talk about what's not making you happy, because that's how you change it. And if you're in a relationship where you can't express a grievance without thinking that somebody's going to walk out, that's not a healthy relationship anyways, right? So you just need to get over those fears. And the Ten of Swords in reverse is all about getting over those fears. It's like, instead of getting down and fighting for the relationship, fighting for the connection, you may get the urge to just walk away because you don't have the energy to fight for it. And you're not willing to talk about it. Like, it's just easier to just walk away than to talk about it and see if the other person is willing to work on it with you. This could be the energy of someone else coming to you and making an offer. And you want to take it. It's what you want very much, but there's an element here where you're afraid to take the leap of faith. And it has something to do with the way something went down in the past and you didn't talk about it. You didn't bring it up. There may be issues with jealousy here that you don't understand. There may be, it's all about the ego. And this is resetting your ego. This is starting things. Yeah. Breaking down the wall. Allowing people in. 5 to 9 of Wands in reverse. You gotta let people in. You gotta tell them what you're feeling. You gotta run the risk of conflict, because there is a such thing as healthy conflict, and it's okay. The Knight of Cups tells me that you're having a hard time expressing your emotions towards someone. Like, there's a fear there. There's a fear because of the ego, and the universe wants you to get really, really vulnerable right now, and you may have a real issue with that. But the lack of vulnerability, if you're unwilling to approach this honestly, and you do want to pull the King of Swords and just cut it out, maybe you want to ghost somebody, maybe this is so intense that you feel the need to ghost somebody and just walk away from it. But it comes off as very manipulative, and be careful, because we're in a real state of karma right now. There's also a lot of elements of mirroring in here. Gemini, there's a lot of Leo coming up in this reading. Lots of Leos. Lots of lions in your reading. Leo, Aquarius, Libra, Pisces. Taurus and Cancer. I think really no matter what the situation is, the more that you get balanced. Oh my, okay. The more that you get balanced, in yourself and comfortable with yourself, comfortable with being vulnerable, the less your ego is going to come to play here. And you run the risk of that. Because there is mirroring, and I feel like however you approach the situation, the other person's going to meet you with that. So if you come to the table with, these are all the reasons why you're an asshole, be expected to have a list in return. the Magician card in reverse is very manipulative energy to me. And so if you're not willing to deal with it honestly, if there's a part of you that feels like it's better to just like hide your emotions and not talk about your real feelings, that's manipulative. And that's not going to go over well. That's going to bring even more conflict to you. And just remember that like you're starting a new cycle. So whatever you implement now, whatever relationships you're bringing in with you now is going to be a cycle for you for a long time. So you want to make sure they're healthy, and you want to make sure you're in balance and attracting really healthy situations to you. And you want to make sure that you're attracting things that you deserve, that are going to support you. You got double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Pleiades. But that being said, Venus, I think I know what that card means, actually. Venus is hanging out in your sign of Gemini with the Pleiades in that constellation. And I feel like it's going to give you some energy and some support in this situation. This is a time of blessings for you. Soul family, call your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Yeah, I think you're going to get a lot of unexpected support here, gems. And seeing the truth in a situation here. And I really do think it's all about talking about what makes you unhappy, addressing it like a grown-up, and allowing the cycles to begin new. To begin things in a more balanced way. All right, it's all about the communication, Geminis. You guys got that, right? You got that. All right, guys. I'll be checking in next week in some way. I'm not really sure yet. And then I'm going to start on the May readings. I can't believe we're in May already. Okay, until then, I wish you the best of luck. Have an excellent end of April, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.